Hey everybody, this is Robert Benson again. In the last video, I talked a little bit about daily life through history as a resource for getting acquainted with a specific time period. I want to talk about a resource in the library that's used for getting acquainted with historical figures that may be depicted in the films you're going to watch. And my favorite database for that is a library resource called Biography in Context. So again, I'm going to go back to the History Research Guide from the library webpage and scroll down to history right here. Great. And we're back to the Start Here tab. And this time I'm going to go to Biography in Context. Again, if I'm accessing from off campus, you're going to see a login screen. I log in with my RaiderNet credentials. I get into the database. Biography in Context is a collection of articles from a variety of sources, encyclopedias as well as magazines and journals, that talk about important historical figures. And I think that when you're working with the film paper, one really easy way to get into it might be to find people who are depicted in the film who are meant to depict actual historical people. And so, if you're working with the film Titanic, you may recall the character that Kathy Bates plays. Her name is Margaret Molly Brown, or the famous Unsinkable Molly Brown. And so if I wanted to know more about Molly Brown and compare that to the depiction that Kathy Bates gave, Biography in Context would be a great resource for that. And so what I would do is I would come into this database and I would just do a search on the person's name. We'll do Margaret Brown. We do a search, and Margaret Brown, oh gosh, there are a lot of Margaret Browns here. So what we're going to do is actually do Margaret Molly. Sometimes there's names that are so general that it's hard to figure out which one's which. We've got it spelled right. We're good. Margaret Brown. Very good. And basically what I get here is a article, a couple articles, couple magazine articles, and so on and so forth. I'll just click into it and show you that this is a short article that talks about Molly Brown. First of all, her name was never Molly. She was Margaret Tobin Brown. This talks a little bit about her background and why she was significant. So just a pretty specific example, but what I want you to think about is that characters are a really important part of the movies that you're going to watch. And so if you're watching a film where the historical figure drives the narrative of the movie, then Biography in Context can be a really, really great place to go to get enough background information to know when you're watching the movie whether the way they're depicted in the film is historically accurate or not. And so it can be an easy way to start getting your hands around research for this paper. So that's Biography in Context. This is just a real quick demonstration on how that works, but it's got a lot of great stuff on it, and your results will vary depending on who it is that you're researching into. So that is Biography in Context. Okay,